Hi, I'm Avery Davidson.
And I'm Kristen Oaks-White. Thanks for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Cold weather, king cakes, that means it's time for crawfish. Despite a cold couple of weeks in January, this year's crawfish season is off to a great start.
This week, TWILA's Karl Wiggers takes us to Jeff Davis Parish to see how the catch is looking for one farmer and the huge difference he's seeing from last season.
Crawfish are already filling sacks in Dylan Benoit's fields in Jeff Davis Parish.
I farm about 1,000 acres of rice and 1,000 acres of crawfish every year.
Benoit is very excited about the traps Carlos is pulling in this field after a very tough year in 2024.
I am very optimistic. I think it'll be a really good season. It's just going to take some time. Crawfish need to grow, sun needs to come out. It's going to be a good season.
According to Benoit, last year's crawfish season left much to be desired in his part of the state.
I mean, it was a drought, seemed like from the beginning to the end, and we pushed through, we pumped, we flushed these ponds, we kept the stubble alive, we tried to do everything we could to make these crawfish have an environment that they could have survived, and I mean, you just can't beat Mother Nature. We were probably, I'd say, a quarter of the production that I would think we should have been. We pushed through to the end because we still had to restock. So we had to get the seed crawfish to be able to stock those acres back that were in rice in 24. We're catching volumes right now that I think we probably caught in March last year.
One benefit to the region Benoit farms in is the ability to rotate rice and crawfish. Another huge factor on his farm are the generations who farmed before him to help pave the way for his success today.
My dad, my grandpa have been doing this probably since, for sure big time and since the 90s. So they've made mistakes and figured out how much we need to seed on this land, and just mistakes that at 31 years old in 2025, I didn't have to make those mistakes. They trial and errored it, and it helped me a lot. When I got started farming, we got straight into crawfishing, and it was production agriculture. It wasn't just, we'll go try it, whereas they had to learn how to do it and figure out what needed to be done.
Part of that trial and error has led to this dock where Benoit sells part of his crawfish crop to retailers. One thing about selling his crawfish that may be a little surprising is Benoit does not want the price of crawfish to be too high. He wants his customers to be able to buy a lot of it.
It's a supply and demand market. We got to move the supply to have more demand. There's no other way around it. We want the price to be as good for the consumer as it is for us. But at the end of the day, there's a per acre cost that we have to get every time we go out there and run that trap.
So we're back to Carlos in the field.
They got families to feed too, They got to make money.
Every trap that he pulls with crawfish is a welcome sight, of course. And with every week that passes, the catch should improve and the size of the crawfish should as well.
So we're about 70% rolling right now. We got some more guys to come in and more acres to get trapped up. It looks really good. It's slow due to the cold weather, but other than that, it looks really good.
In Welsh, Louisiana, I'm Karl Wiggers reporting for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Karl also sat down with Benoit for a new episode of the Louisiana Farm Bureau podcast. If you'd like to listen and learn more about Dylan and his farm, be on the lookout for that episode coming out wherever you listen to podcasts.